Hello, everybody. Hello, Kansas. Got Kansas with us. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to today's class. Welcome on Facebook. Got a few people watching there. Got folks coming into the Zoom room. Good to have everybody. Hey, Deborah, good to have you. Only gained 3 pounds from a holiday. Nice. Good job. Now we can get it off. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good day. Good day. Hope everybody's busy as a bee, cheerful as a cricket, steady as a clock, standing on the faithful rock. Having a perfect week. Nothing more important, nothing that we could be doing more importantly than taking care of our temple, living a more joyful life, sharing the light. Isn't it awesome? Welcome, everybody. Eating great food, great tasting food, approved food, losing weight, feeling better about ourselves. I'm going to go and apologize to you in advance. I'm going to be blinking a lot. I've got a contact that's rolled up in my eye and I can't get it out. So forgive me in advance. I'm going to be doing a lot of this stuff. So if somebody thinks something's wrong with me or I'm acting weird, it's because I've got a contact lens that's rolled up and I can't get it out. I guess I wore them too long without taking them out. So I can't see well, and it's driving me batty with it rolled up in there. I tried to get it out before class. If anybody's got any tips, let me know. Hopefully I'll be able to flood it with water after class and get it to come the heck out. Everybody hear me okay? Make sure I don't sound like a robot. Awesome. Hello, Ohio. Who's that? Bridget from Ohio. Awesome. Good to have you. Down 8.4 pounds in 11 days with Julie's hot challenge. Way to go, Vicky. Way to go, Julie. Great teamwork there. Yeah, Desiree, I hope that doesn't happen. I'm going to go flood it with water, but it's driving me nuts. It's way back up in there. It keeps floating back up in there. Yep, we're still having Top Gun 2, Danger Zone. We're having that tonight, that 2-week challenge where we can lose some weight together. Should be a lot of fun. We just had the best 2-week weight loss results we've ever had from a challenge. In that challenge, it was quite remarkable to see people losing that kind of weight in only 2 weeks. I hope they were able to continue that momentum. Hello, Mary on Facebook. Kimberly Frew, thank you. Use eye drop. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate the tips. Won't have time to go to no eye specialist. Hopefully it'll come out. Caught me off guard before class. Will the Top Gun Zoom tomorrow evening be? Well, it's tonight. It's not tomorrow, Bridget. It's tonight. Yeah, you said tomorrow. It's tonight. Yeah, and we will record it. Yeah, it's tonight, and we will record it. Cindy says, I have not been getting text messages. I am so sorry. Just make sure that you're signed up at www.travis.live. If you've ever stopped our text messages, then it's hard to get you back on the list. That may be what it is, www.travis.live, to make sure that you're on it. And then check with Joni to make sure that you're on there if you'd like. But sometimes they just don't. It's not our platform. It's a platform that we have to pay for and subscribe to. And they give me, every time I call support, they tell me the same thing. They just say that the text went out. They show me how to look to see the text went out, and they did all go out today. And then they say if somebody didn't get it, it's usually their carrier. You know, they blame AT&T, Verizon, whatever. And we exhausted all ability to fix that problem. So I'm sorry you didn't get it. It did go out, though. I'm so sorry. Oh, thanks, Joni. He's got a good tip for you there. Joni says, type the word unstop to 888-831-1207. That might correct it. Yeah, I hate it when that happens because it's getting to where text communication is about the only way to get our messages out, because all of our emails hit your spam folder. And if you forget to check your spam folder, then, it's hard for me to communicate. Yeah, Joni just gave y'all tips. Those of you saying that your text stopped, if you've ever stopped any of our text, then it's hard to get back on the list. They're trying to protect you. So if you got tired of hearing from me at some point in your journey and you stopped it, meaning you could thinking you could resubscribe anytime later, you're supposed to be able to. But the problem with it is they're so trying to protect the consumer, and that's not a problem. That's a good thing. That you may have to go through that step, that process Joni spoke of, where you text to 888-831-1207. Give that a try. And if you're still not on there, maybe reach out to us at info@myshibboleth.com, and one of the team members will call that text company for you and see if they can troubleshoot. All right. It's Thursday. I hope everybody's having a great day. Liz is asking about the partner class. We are onboarding this week. As you can imagine, there's just a few of us here. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of excitement around the partner features, okay? And I had a personal matter to attend to on Tuesday. I already had a full schedule, and I had a personal matter to attend to that could not be helped. And that's causing me to have to rearrange things without canceling anything I already had going on. So we'll probably look at doing that Saturday, and we're onboarding this week. There's been a ton of people asking questions about how do they see their partner features, okay? So you've got everything from the exercise progression system, the exercise classes with Sasha and I, the advanced classes. Please bear with us. This has been a very challenging week. We're looking at doing all of our catch-up work on Saturday. We'll start with exercise, a live exercise session. All that will go out via text and go out via email to our partners. So be looking in your email and look out for the text. But as you've noticed, some people don't get the text. So also check your email. We'll do the best we can. Once we get all this launched, then we'll be able to look at a calendar month and go, okay, here's how we're going to do stuff. But bear with us. We're trying to appeal to every single personality here. You've got folks that need the beginner classes, and then folks that think that they need something more than the beginner classes. And we're gonna provide that. Intermediate and advanced classes for our partners, exercise classes for our partners. It's a coming, and I'm excited. We talked about this last Saturday during our onboarding session, and we noted that this week would be a week of onboarding, because anytime we drop something new, a lot of people aren't in that live session to hear about it, and then they're emailing all throughout the week. And Sasha's doing the best she can to get caught up. Okay, everybody? Thank you for your patience with us. I look forward to connecting with all of our partners on Saturday. We've also got Top Gun 2 tonight, another bonus that we give everybody. I'm hosting a 2-week challenge tonight. That should be fun. So try that out if you're getting kind of, getting antsy and wanting more material. All right, let's get into our Q&A. Congratulations, everybody. We've got some badge earners. We've got 76 pounds lost yesterday by our members, self-reported. That's amazing. Average of 1 pound per day there. That's a great job. Badges earned. We had some 10-pound badges earned. Megan Malon, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sorry if I'm not. Correct me. Ashley Vaskins, Jennifer Grossnickel, and Frank Duffy, 10-pound badges earned. We had 3 people earn their 25-pound badge: Cassandra Brown, Jessica Coram, and Bonnie Methvin. And then we had a 50-pound badge earned, Tracy Blackstock. Amazing success, doing great. That 50-pound badge earner, wow. And then we've got 2 people that got 21 perfect days in a row. They have earned their self-mastery badge, Anita Borders and Lynn Golub. And then new partners. Thank you. We could not do what we do without our partners. We wouldn't be able to survive. We charge very, very little for our services, and we try to build up a lot of goodwill, equity, or collateral, if you will, with our members. So we try to give more than we receive, and we could not do this without our partners. They help make up some of the difference for us each month, and we need you. We need you. I want to thank Rhonda Duffy, Stacy Quaglia, Angela Parker, Kathleen Wright, and Samantha Golightly as our newest partners. And those others that had already partnered with us before we started recognizing our partners, thank you so much. Could not do this without you. And what are we doing? We're saving lives. It's not arguable. Obesity is the greatest cause of premature mortality in our country. And when we help someone lose body fat together as a Shibboleth family through love, care, education, support, we're saving and changing lives. You all have had a massive impact in the lives of others. Even if you are flying low under the radar and nobody knows who you are, you don't think. Listen, if you've lost weight with the Shibboleth lifestyle and somebody noticed it, you might have changed a life. You never know. You partners, we're known for our love, care, and support of our members. We could not do this without you. Thank you so much. Lifetime members, partners, God bless you. Thank you. So I'm going to get right to it. Going to answer questions. This is a session, a supplemental live session to your online classes. We have these fast track classes. That's where everyone should start. The fast track classes online, those fast track classes, that information helped me lose more than 100 pounds and come off all prescription medications. I learned how to combine foods. I learned how to modify my behaviors. Those programs did that. And now that program, Fast Track, has went on to help tens of thousands of other people do the same thing. So you need to watch the Fast Track videos, because if you just come to these supplemental sessions, you may leave here confused when myself and Janice start talking about how can we combine a category 1, 2, and 6 together. You're gonna go, what are they talking about? I'm out. But you wouldn't feel that way if you've been through Fast Track. You would understand what the foundation of the discussion is. So please earn that Fast Track badge. Shona, had a bio coffee and Quest bar for breakfast and feel yucky. I had actual sugar. What did I do wrong? Had a bio coffee and Quest bar for breakfast. I don't know, my friend. I don't know. Have you had that before and not felt yucky? So you've had a bio coffee, which is one serving of bio coffee is a half a snack. And that's how you should count that. And then you had a Quest bar, which is a meal replacement. You say you feel yucky. Are you feeling nauseous? Are you feeling sick? What's going on there? I'm not so sure. If you'll expound on it, we'll try to get to the bottom of it. The only thing that I could think of is if you're not used to a Quest bar, it has so much fiber. It's a little overkill with the fiber to shut down the insulin. And if you haven't had any sugar in a while, bio coffee has tapioca starch in it. So that tapioca starch may have run your blood sugar up some, but not enough to bring you out of efficient fat burning mode. I don't know. If you've had that before and not had a problem, I wouldn't necessarily link your problem to that those 2 eating episodes that you've already had. But if this is the first time you've had it, maybe they just don't sit well with you. Could be the tapioca starch. Yeah, but Shona, you don't know that you had you don't know that though, right? You're guessing. You don't know that you had a big sugar spike, right? I see your comment. I feel like I had a big insulin spike. Well, what you mean to say, you can't tell when you have an insulin spike, but you can tell when you have a blood sugar spike. but you're not testing, are you? You don't know that, do you? So if you, you just feel like you did. So let's be careful with that. And this is for everyone. A lot of times you can eat something that there's nothing wrong with, but you're coming down with a bug or something. And then we attach how we're feeling to that food that we just ate. But what I would suggest, if you say, I see that now. You say, I have them both regularly. So this shouldn't be a problem. The only thing that you're mentioning here that is of note is that you had them together, and you usually don't have them together. You know, that's not optimal, by the way. We prefer you to have one or the other. Now, what you did is still allowed and still perfect, because you can have your snack anytime throughout the day that you want it. You chose to have it around your meal episode, which is that Quest bar. Maybe it's just a little more than you're used to, but there's nothing wrong with those are pretty clean products that you had, and you've never had a problem before. So be careful not to do what many do and throw the baby out with the bathwater. Hey, Sierra. My badge hasn't popped up yet, but I am 50.6 pounds down today. Bless the name of the Lord. Amen. I'll bless the name of the Lord with you. I'll bless the name of the Lord with you. Lisa, you're asking what medicine. You may be missing out on part of the discussion. We're not talking about medicine. She had a Quest bar and a Bio Coffee. That's a regular thing for her. She usually does not have a problem, but today she didn't feel well. She felt like it elevated her blood sugar, whereas normally she does not feel that way. We were not having a discussion on medicine. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. See how I jumped to a conclusion. You're talking to Marjorie. Sorry. So I'll let Lisa and Marjorie continue. They know what they're talking about. All right. Shouldn't jump to a conclusion. All right. Any other questions today? Let's keep you moving forward toward weight loss and wellness. Nothing more important than getting to where you feel good, you look good, you have more self-confidence, more self-esteem. Let's do it. And don't forget, if you don't like to ask your questions publicly here in the Zoom room, you can click the Q&A button, and I'll do my best to remember that you don't want your name mentioned. Sorry, Lisa, that I interjected on y'all's conversation. I didn't see the above thread. I got two screens up. Any other questions? Weight loss, wellness, meal ideas, supplementation, exercise. Your friendly neighborhood weight loss coach has got it covered. Linda, thank you for that kind comment that will inspire others. I have more energy now. I recommend this lifestyle for gaining health. Amen. That's what Jesus wants us to have, is a more abundant life in him. Sandra, oh, sorry, I already did it. See, I broke the rule. I'm so used to calling people by their first name. Sorry, I'm not going to answer your question right now. I'll come back to it in a minute when people don't know who you are. Bear with me. Sorry, I'm off my game. I have this contact up in my skull somewhere that I can't get out. Having a planned holiday on Saturday. First one since July the 8th. Wow. What is the best way to approach it to avoid the highest weight gain? Have a challah meal. Have a challah meal, not a hog trough day. Yeah, really, that's tip number one. You're planning yourself a holiday on Saturday to celebrate life with food, okay? We've all been there, done that. So number one, it's just one day. You're allowed 6 holidays a month. Don't obsess over what kind. Just have a good holiday. Enjoy that holiday. But you're asking a question that's a little more specific. I want to avoid the greatest gain, because after a holiday we have water fluctuation, sugar fluctuation by weight, and that can sometimes discourage some of our people. I wish it didn't. You earn the right to have the holiday, and it will only take 1 to 2 days to take care of that holiday. 1 or 2 days back in efficient fat burning, you're going to get right back to where you was, if not even sooner, if you only have one holiday or one challah meal. But if you never want to miss a beat, You always want to see consistent weight loss. Then take your ideal weight times 8. Your ideal weight times 8. What is your goal weight? Multiply that times 8. For example, if my goal weight is 200 pounds times 8, that's 1,600 calories. I would want to stay under 1,600 calories even on my holiday. Now, I'm still going to spike insulin. I'm still going to have a little bit of a water weight fluctuation, but that weight's going to come right off because I operate in a calorie deficit. So how I do that, let's say that Saturday, Sasha has declared we're going out on a date. Then I won't eat anything during the day. If I do, it might be a bowl of bone broth. It might be a Health-Wise hot chocolate, something really light. And then I'll have a nice meal in the evening that's a holiday meal, but I'll keep my overall daily calories under my ideal weight times 8. When you do that, you never miss a beat. You will always lose weight, lose body fat. The next morning when you get up, you might see a couple of pounds of water weight increase, but you didn't gain any fat. Listen, to gain fat, you have to be in a calorie surplus. So, Travis, why was I in a calorie deficit and gained weight? Because you gain water and sugar weight temporarily. We'll knock that right off. The only way you can gain fat is to operate in a calorie surplus. So if you're not in a calorie surplus on your holiday, it's just going to take a day or two to get right back to where you were. Should I add anything to approved cereal and milk in the morning for best results? Please do not. That's already enough. Cereal is a lesser evil. We need a practical, sustainable, and fun lifestyle. So for me to come in here, like if I was going to teach y'all the perfect program, there would be nothing processed on that program. Do y'all hear that? Nothing processed. In addition to that, I would eliminate all dairy. So there would not be cereal, there would not be milk, there would not be cheese. These things are not great for the human body. Now, when you combine them with foods that have a little extra sugar or starch in them, it is the kiss of death. You're looking, if you do that often enough, it means unintended consequences of obesity. But when I started this trek, I thought, I can't get rid of my bread. I can't get rid of my milk. Occasionally I'm going to want them things. And occasionally I'm going to want a cereal. So how can I come up with formulas that allow me to have cereal when I want cereal? And I did. So you're going to follow our approved cereal rules, but you do not, please do not add anything to your cereal. Pretty please. With no sugar on it. Don't do that, Sandra. Let me make sure I read that right because I can only see with one eye. Should I add anything to approved cereal and milk? No, I'm not even crazy about us having cereal. I had a bowl of cereal, by the way. In the last 2 weeks, I've had one bowl of cereal. I had, what did I have in there? I had that keto cereal I don't have it because it's keto. I got it off of Amazon. Now it doesn't come to, I'd have to go look it up. And then I had a fat-free Fairlife milk. And then I put me in some very sweet hemp flakes. So yeah, I've had cereal. It's not great for us, but it makes our program more practical and sustainable. How many of you would, if you just come to class and I go, we're only eating organic food here. We're only combining things that grow from the ground that are organic, and things that roam the earth that are organic, and we're combining them the right way. You'd go, whoa, this sounds awesome. But on day 1 or day 2, you'd be like, I don't know if I can stick to this the rest of my life. So we meet people where they are with lesser evils. Breads that actually will help you control insulin. Cereal combinations that actually help you control insulin. So I'd like to know, Sandra, just for the group, what cereal and milk are you having? Diane. What time is the Top Gun call tonight? 8 o'clock. We're doing it at 8 o'clock. Private question. I am new. Where do I start? Fast track. Okay. Everybody let her know where we should start. Fast track, fast track, fast track. We want to watch our fast track videos, take the fast track test, and earn that fast track badge, and then you are on your way. And coming to these live sessions is a great way to get community support and connection, get your questions answered. If you find that you're struggling because you just mentally were not ready to have to educate and study, and that happens to a lot of people, if you're really not ready, you're not ready to build that why, you're not ready to build your vision, you're not ready to get some education from those short videos and learn food combining, you're not ready, get a mentor appointment and let's get you a meal plan that's suitable to you and your desires. So you can get that mentor appointment. Let me type it in for you. I hope you'll just go through fast track and learn everything the right way. But we've solved every reasonable problem. Somebody says, I just don't feel like it. Okay, get a mentor appointment, www.mentor.genbook.com, and one of our expert mentors will help you come up with 3 breakfast ideas, 3 lunch ideas, 3 dinner ideas. Another thing that you could do is get in our next 4-week group class. We have a group beginner class, another one starting next week. If you'd like to get in that, that's where I take you through a workbook. Let's say that your thing is not, you don't like to do self-guided stuff like the fast track videos, then get in the group with me. I think we still have room. You can email us at group@myshibboleth.com to get in group 2. It's a 4-week class where we go through a workbook together. So we've met every need there. Self-starters, people that don't mind self-guiding, then you go through fast track videos. You're not going to take time to do that. You're in bad headspace. You just need a meal plan. Get a mentor appointment, mentor.genbook.com. You prefer to go through things in a more structured way with an instructor leading and guiding you. The group session, group@myshibboleth.com. I hope that answered that question. So Sandra's cereal was cashy. I hope it was cashy Goline. And fat-free Fairlife milk, perfect. If you'd like to, if you're keeping your calories at about 200 total, you can do a little more with a meal episode. So maybe add you a couple tablespoons of hemp hearts or hemp flakes to get you in something in there that's actually good for you. Use hemp hearts or hemp flakes as a condiment. Then that cereal, you've turned it into a super cereal, but I would make sure that I counted it as a meal episode. Keep those cereal calories below 300, please. Great selections for your cereal. Thank you, Vicki. Vicki says, to any new folks, I highly recommend the 4-week class with Travis. That's yours truly. You'll love it. Thank you so much, Vicki. Thank you. If I log into my account, will I find all the items you just mentioned as far as help and classes? Yes, Sasha's, so you've got 20, our website is actually, should just be called Travis's 20 years of Travis's life and history. Everything from challenges, but the problem with it is it's all over the place. People struggle finding it. So do this for me. Sasha, any day now, she's going to launch our sitemap, where it's going to make everything easy to find. You'll be able to go to one page instead of search, and everything that you could possibly want on that website will be on that one page, and you can even search. So that's coming. We realize that the website has grown so much that instead of it being like a state or a country, it's become a whole planet, which is a good thing if we can get all that organized. So if you're having a hard time finding anything that I just mentioned, reach out to Joni. Joni's here now. So Karen, if you and Joni can make a connection here, Joni is my assistant and she's fantastic. So anything you're looking for, the mentor appointments, the group class, anything you're looking for, our team will be able to get that to you. Private question, is there a minimum of calories you should have each day in order to lose weight? Is too few calories a bad thing? Here, we're getting into that mythical, oh, I'm sorry, Joni, she only marked that to panelists. So Let me see. We're reaching out to Karen Nichols, Joni. Karen Nichols. Yeah, in the chat, y'all, sometimes you'll think people are ignoring you, but it's that they can't see because you just set it to panelists. So just FYI. Private question. So we're getting into that mythical thing about that we do about once a week. Am I going to go into starvation mode? Let's talk about that in depth. Okay, is everybody ready for the conversation on starvation mode? I've been getting this a lot, probably because we got a lot of new people and they're worried about starvation mode. I'm gonna have to get my sunglasses out and pull a jack on y'all now. Are y'all ready? Are you ready? I want everybody to get this. It's time for the discussion again. We're getting it a lot. I'm afraid I'm gonna go into starvation mode. Okay, so I'm gonna give you some Harley, Georgia wisdom. Are you ready for Harley, Georgia wisdom? Y'all gotta egg me on. You gotta egg me on. Some Harley, Georgia wisdom. All right. So let's start here. The last time you looked in the mirror, did you have an overeating problem or an undereating problem? When's the last time you looked in the mirror and said, I have an undereating problem? No, I'm not being a smart aleck. I know what y'all hear because I heard it too. For years, I spent time mentally worried that I wasn't eating enough and I kept gaining weight. I just kept growing until I was about to pop. So first of all, rarely, if ever, and it's probably if ever, will you have a problem with undereating, okay, or going into starvation mode. Now, if you undereat long enough, that can be a problem because you will lose all of your excess energy. They are 3 layers of energy on your body. Let's talk about it. This energy is in the form of what, everyone? No, not exactly, Pam. Muscle does have energy, though. You'd be right. But we're talking about fat, body fat. So in 1 pound of body fat, in 1 pound of excess body fat, how many calories are stored that we've eaten too much of? 3,500. So every extra pound of body fat that I carried on my body, I had overeaten by 3,500 calories. I was more than 100 pounds overweight. So let's say that I was 100 pounds overweight. It was more than that. Let's say 100 even. There's 3,500 extra calories stored in that pound of excess fat. 100 times 3,500 is what? Can somebody do that math? You have a calculator? 100 times 3,500. Quick math. There you go. So check this out, Tina. Yours truly had overeaten by 350,000 calories. This is good. Listen, I had overeaten. I had eaten more than my fair share by not 350 calories, not 3,500 calories, not 35,000 calories, but 350,000 calories. Now, during that time that I was putting on that weight, putting on those extra 350,000 calories, I would say more than half that time I was dieting. More than half that time I was dieting. Does that sound like anyone here? Does that sound like anyone here? That was, oh, I get it, Donna. I'm just using this to help everybody because it's been coming up a lot in the emails. I'm going the long way around answering a question directly. What's crazy is I was dieting the whole time I was gaining weight. One of the things I would do about every day or two of my diet, I would say, I'm blank to death in my mind or even out loud. I would say, I'm blank to death. What did I say? Starving. I would say, I'm starving to death after only a couple of days of dieting. And I just kept gaining weight. Most of the time while I was gaining weight, I thought I was starving. So look, first off, some good points. If we're going to lose weight, we've got to eat for the size we want to be and not the size we are. We're slowly getting to this person's question, but I want to, because there've been tons of emails. Can you explain to me how I'm not going to go into starvation mode? So you have 3 layers of extra energy, or of energy on your body that the body likes to use as an energy source. You've got excess fat, reserve fat, and essential fat. Now, I got rid of all of my excess fat. I've not gotten rid of all my reserve fat. And I have to keep my essential fat. It's important to my life, my lifespan, my quality of life. You have to have a certain amount of essential fat because it stores necessary fat-soluble vitamins that you need. You have to have some, okay? But until you get rid of all of your excess fat and until you get rid of most of your reserve fat, you're in no danger into going into what's called a diminished metabolism or the dreaded starvation mode. No danger. So in other words, if I were 500 calories a day is way too low. But if I were to go, listen, here's how it works. If I were to go today on 500 calories a day, but made sure I got enough protein, this is important. If I made sure I got enough of the building blocks of muscle so that I kept my muscle and starved off the fat, if I was only on 500 calories a day, but it wasn't empty calories, this is key. I don't know if y'all are getting it. This is critical. Critical. I know y'all hate the bell, but I want you to listen to me because right now you might be listening to your next question in your head or what you want to say, and you're going to miss this very important point. If I was on 500 calories a day, but getting enough protein for my ideal weight, until I got rid of my reserve fat, I'm not going to see a serious ramping down of my metabolism. It's only until I get rid of all of my reserve fat and I'm getting down to the nitty-gritty to my essential fat that my metabolism will begin to burn many more calories less at rest to preserve life. Do you get all that? Do you hear what I'm saying? It's so important. You can't just do 500 calories of cereal. Then you'll be losing a lot of muscle. We don't want you to muscle waste. Muscle means metabolism. So we want to preserve our metabolism. There's two ways to preserve your metabolism. And if we do them both together, we're not going to lose very much muscle. Number one way, you must get in adequate amounts of protein, which Shibboleth, the Bulletproof Shield, will take care of. If you feel like it's not, then do your math. Do y'all want the math? Number two way, other than the protein, number two way is use it or you'll lose it. If we get blood flow through activity to our muscles, we'll preserve muscle. Even if we're not eating, if you get blood flow, if you're using the muscle, then your body says, well, I guess we don't need to use the muscle. We need to use that fat. We don't need to use the 600 calories stored in muscle as energy because we're using the muscle. We need to get rid of the 3,500 calories that's stored in a pound of fat because we don't need it. We got more than enough. Did that make sense? I want to make sure that part makes sense before I go further. protein math. If you do not trust the Shibboleth Shield, then you need to count calories and you need to count protein grams. If you trust the Shibboleth Shield and your understanding of it, you need not count these. But if you prefer to be a counter, you can. So protein would come up with our ideal weight. And you want to have a minimum of 0.5 gram of protein per pound of ideal weight. And that will actually that's more than adequate. There's another formula, but it's harder to teach. So let's give you more than enough, 0.5 gram per pound of ideal body weight. So let's say that your ideal body weight is 200 pounds. That's your goal. Then you would need to get in at least 100 grams of protein a day. And that's going to be more than enough, because if I give you the real formula that we're not going to get into today, then you would see that is really, really more than enough. Does that make sense? I don't like counting, but some people do. So I want to meet you where you are. So ideal weight times 8 is your calories you should strive for right now. And 0.5 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight is the protein grams you want to shoot for. If you fall under those, it's no big deal. You're not going into starvation mode. You would have to be day after day after day after day after day falling underneath your numbers to significantly see a deterioration of your metabolism. All right. So let's go back to what I started with. The problem is rarely, for our demographic, the problem is rarely you're not eating enough. Okay, you're eating enough. Now, this person actually asked a little different question. Is there a minimum of calories you should have each day in order to lose weight? Is there such thing as too few calories? I would say that day after day after day, if you look back, let's say that on Monday and Thursday you were busy and you only got 700 calories. It's not a big deal if you follow the Shibboleth Shield. But let's say that you went through an entire week and every single day you're falling underneath 1,000 calories and you know you're not getting enough protein either. That's too low. So what I asked everyone to do is shoot for at least 1,000 calories a day, but use your Shibboleth Shield and food combining. I've got members right now, they're like, what happened? What went wrong? I was losing weight so good, and I started eating a little more, but I'm still doing the right numbers. But I had to get my calories up. My doctor told me I was going to go into starvation mode. Whoa, okay. So here's the thing. What are you doing wrong? When I looked at some of the journals, they were following the Shibboleth Shield part of the day and then just eating whatever to get their calories up. If I eat unapproved foods, what spike do I have to worry about that prevents me from efficiently losing body fat? There's a certain hormonal spike that if I just eat anything, yeah, insulin. So you can't just go fill your calorie needs with junk. The right way to do this is to get our mind. Let me ask y'all another Holy Spirit question. I want you to forget about me for a minute. Forget about what I tell you. Forget about what your coach told you. Forget about what anybody told you. Let me ask you a sincere question. Is there anybody here that thinks eating a small portion on a 6 to 8 inch plate, you're talking a 6 to 8 inch plate, your stomach will not hold at one moment more than what you can fit in that part that my hands aren't covering? Okay? If you feed yourself more than that in one episode, you're stretching your stomach. Okay? So we're conditioned to stretch our stomach, but I'm saying this is as much as we should be eating. Okay? And then it takes anywhere from 12 to 36 hours to completely digest that meal, but we want to graze all day. We want to eat more. So I want you to ask yourself a question in your heart. Ask yourself this. If I just follow the Shibboleth Shield and I eat approved foods combined the right way on that approved plate 3 times a day, am I going to starve to death? Ask the Holy Spirit that right now and tell me what you get back. Holy Spirit, if I eat 3 3 approved meals combined the right way on a portion plate, am I going to starve to death if I do that daily? What's the answer the Holy Spirit gives you back, regardless of what I say, or Dr. Oz says, or Weight Watcher says? Ask the Holy Spirit this. Ask the Holy Spirit this. Ask the Holy Spirit this. If I eat 3 approved meals and honor you with each one of them, breakfast for the Father, lunch for the Son, dinner for the Holy Spirit, let me take this off here. If I eat 3 approved meals, if I have an egg white omelet and I stop eating, I wait until lunch and I have a Wendy's chili and a side salad and I stop eating. And for dinner, I have a to die for roast on that plate. And that's all I eat. Will I be healthier if I repeat that cycle every single day? If I eat breakfast for the Father, lunch for the Son, dinner for the Holy Spirit, and I only eat 3 eating episodes, and I don't graze between meals, and I give thanks to, and if I do that, am I going to starve to death, or will I be healthier? This is why sometimes I go into shock when I get questions from people that ask, are you sure this is not going to hurt me? Are y'all with me? It's so much healthier. We don't need to count anything. They didn't count calories back in the, 400 or 500 years ago. That wasn't a thing. You look at back in the early 1900s. You see all those black and white pictures. Did you ever see anybody that was overweight in those black and white pictures? Were they counting calories back then? No. They worked hard and then they ate. So we eat 3 eating episodes a day. We don't need to worry about anything else. If you want to worry about all that stuff, I'll help you with it, tell you about it, but you don't need to. You just need to follow the bulletproof shield and get your health back. So let me go back. I've seen some questions. Donna says, but if it's less than 1,000 calories, but enough protein, should not be a problem. Right, that's right. You hit the nail on the head. And the quicker you're going to burn fat if you get adequate protein. But Donna, let me give you this. I'll worry about it a lot less because here's what can happen. If you're only eating protein and you're getting very few calories, your body starts burning what? You're training your body how to burn muscle. When we only eat protein, not ketones, Sally, that would be if we were eating primarily fat, okay? But if we're eating primarily lean protein, but very few calories, we will train our body how to burn muscle down the road. We don't want to do that. So what I tell people is if you really want to go fast and you're eating from the red column, Donna, do you know what I mean, red column? If you're eating from the red column, always include roughly a tablespoon of MCT oil. What does that do? That MCT oil is a fat, and it will spare your protein for muscle preservation and train your body to burn fat as an energy resource. Does that make sense, everyone? There are many days during the week that people would tell me that I'm going into starvation mode, and I still got plenty of reserve fat because some days I'll eat 600-700 calories. It's not that I'm trying to, it's just food, been there, done that. I don't live to eat anymore. I eat to live. But I don't do that every day. Then there are days I get 2,000, But don't be overly worried about consuming too few calories. When you've went too long eating too few calories, then we'll worry about that because you won't have any excess fat. We can switch to a new kind of problem to deal with. Yeah, Pam, Pam, let me give you an example. If I'm not worried about it one day. I'm not worried about it doing this one day. Let's say that all I ate today was grilled chicken. I didn't have any veggies. I didn't have anything with it. I'm not worried about that. But if I'm doing that on an ongoing basis because I want to lose body fat really fast, then about day 3, day 4, I want to start adding MCT oil to that chicken breast. If I didn't already cook it in MCT, if I'm having my London broil, then I'll fry it up in MCT oil. That extra fat, staying below my calories where I need to be, but that extra fat keeps my body trained properly so that I'm a fat burning machine and not a muscle burning machine. The red column, if y'all all know what I'm talking about, the ones that have MCT oil in the combination, those are the best fat burning combinations. Meal replacements are -2 or -3 and decent amount of calories. Yeah, they're great. I'm not sure if I missed some context, but yeah, -2, -3 are yellow column combinations, and they're awesome for fat loss. Travis, the calculator set my low ideal weight at 115, and that is what I currently have set. I really would like just a little wiggle room. Is it okay to set my meter lower to 110? How tall are you, Sarah? Do you mind telling us your height here? LaJoy, great question. Going to the grocery store today, is MCT at the store? It's becoming more popular. When I first started consuming it and teaching it, you couldn't find it anywhere except for a nutrition retailer or online. Some will have it, some grocery stores, but it's still rare to find it in the grocery store. You might find, if you don't want to do MCT oil, your next best thing is going to be coconut oil. Coconut oil is not 100% MCT, it's 66% MCT. I'd rather you do 100% MCT, but many of our students just simply go with coconut oil. They're willing to miss out on a little of the advantage, but coconut oil is still 66% MCT instead of 100%. So it is approved and it doesn't alter the category that your food is in. If you have freebies for lunch like veggies that are free, is that still considered a meal? No, it's considered an eating episode though. It's a freebie, meaning I'm not worried about your portion of those items. We don't like to see you overindulge and stretch your stomach, but no one ever looked in the mirror and said, oh my goodness, I better back away from the raw cauliflower. Nobody ever looked in the mirror and said, oh my Lordy, I've got to back away from the raw carrots. No one ever said that, never. So other than stretching your stomach, you really can't overindulge in those freebies too much, but it still counts as an eating episode. Why would I count it as an eating episode? I'm trying to get us to modify our behavior and eliminate the G word. Does anybody know what the G word is? I like to just see if y'all been listening. Grazing. How many of you have started to eliminate grazing and you have much more energy than you've had in the past? Yeah, it's a big deal. If you're eating, even if you're eating freebies, do y'all know what happens when you eat freebies? You know what happens? Blood flow to the digestive system. Blood flow. It's like exercise on a plate. You're getting blood flow. Isn't that a good thing? It is a good thing. But if you're getting blood flow there all day, what is it? Let me ask y'all this. Is it good for me to go to the gym and work out hard for 1 hour a day? Is that good for me? Yeah. So let me ask you another question. Is it good for me to go to the gym and work out 18 hours a day? Would that be good for my body to do that every day? No. But what do we do with food? We eat all the time. We're eating and constantly, and then your body's like involuntarily breaking down food instead of involuntarily healing your cells. Do you know that they're using fasting protocol to heal some of the worst diseases that we know of? You know why? They're using that because if you're not eating all the time, Your body can spend its energy reserves on healing cells, getting rid of bad cells, helping you get into deeper sleep. But when we're eating all day, how many of you in the last week have eaten something before bedtime and you noticed you did not feel as well the next morning when you woke up? You didn't feel as recovered. So just something to consider. Walmart has MCT oil, but it's expensive. Better to get from the Shibboleth store. Thank you, Sandra Farmer. We love our MCT oil. And not all MCT oil is optimized for cooking. Do not get emulsified MCT. You want to get the clear liquids, or you're not getting 100% MCT. You're probably getting coconut oil if it's not clear liquid. Judy says, I'm logging what I eat in an app to keep up with fat. It subtracts exercise, and at the end of the day, it looks like I have 300 or less calories for that day. I'm thinking that's okay if I'm getting enough fat. I'm not up to speed on the app. I don't know what that's doing there. You're saying it's subtracting your activity, so you're getting more than 300 calories. I'd be more interested in what were your actual calories before the app tried to subtract your exercise. Most apps, the watches, they overestimate your exercise calories burned. They vastly overestimate. If you want to see how many calories you do burn when you exercise, get a Whoop strap, and you'll see some of the trackers I've used, like I would exercise and it would say I burned 800 calories. I'm like, I don't feel like I burned 800 calories. And my Whoop strap say like it's 150. You got to be careful with those things or you'll start over consuming. It's why I simply don't like to build a lifestyle counting numbers that trackers keep up with or whatever. I like to build it with the Bulletproof Shield. That's why we call it the Bulletproof Shield. It keeps you protected. If you know the rules and follow the rules, up to 3 eating episodes combined right with the right portion, you cannot fail. You cannot fail. Okay, so Sarah, back to your question. I'm 5'2" and I want to set my goal at 110, which is lower than what my ideal weight calculator told you. I think that's fine for your height. If you want to set it lower, it's probably wise because once you reach 110, you'll include a little more carbohydrate in your plan and the glycogen levels will go up and that'll probably put you right where you need to be anyway. Great idea, Shauna. A spritzer for the MCT oil. All right. Any other questions today? Thank you. Patty Bass says, another successful client. If everyone will follow the shield, you will see results. I went from a size 24 to a size 10, still kicking too. Good job. I've got another private question. If we have stretched our stomachs, can we reverse that? Good news. Yes. Yes, you can. And quickly. Amanda asked, how does stress play into weight loss? It's highly overrated in the equation. There's as many people, this isn't your question, this is for everybody, that more people are unhealthy due to a lack of stress. This is a fact. This is a fact. I don't know why the lies in our media and everywhere are propagated. Maybe they want us to purchase, every commercial now says, this brought to you by Big Pharma, right? Some of you who had parents that grew up depression during the time of the Depression, you remember your parents' struggle. Can I ask y'all something? Is today a more stressful time than my grandmother lived? She come up through the Depression. I'll ask myself this. Sometimes I feel very stressed. I feel stressed. Yeah, anybody ever a kid, and they remember that you say this when you were a kid? I'm 50, be 52 this month. I remember saying something was getting on my nerves. And Daddy said, "You ain't got no nerves." Does anybody have a parent that did that? I say, "It's getting on my nerves." Daddy say, "Boy, you ain't even got no nerves." Yet. So I'm not going, listen, I'm going to go full circle. I'm not going to discount stress's role in weight gain. But I want to talk to you a minute about it, okay? The problem is most everybody here doesn't have enough stress. You're creating most of your own stress. You're creating most of it because you don't have enough, so you'll create it. True. You know, look at it. You can look at our political world. About the time things get good, we want to get rid of the good and usher in something that really is stressful. You know, we just can't be satisfied with good times. So I'm saying this and I mean it. You're going to get mad at me, but I mean it. The problem is there's no such thing as adequate stress. That's what we need. We need adequate stress. But if you're going to err on one side or the other, to have too much stress is better than not having any stress. I'll prove it. I'll prove it. I'll prove it. Did you know that instantaneous death happens more often when people retire and have no stress after having a long, stressful career? They've had this awful, stressful career. Terribly, I mean, the worst kind of stress. Then they retire and kill over. Happens all the time. If you look at mortality, that's a significant contributor. Somebody that moved from a high stress job to no stress. So I want to mention that part of this equation first. It's very unlikely that you're not losing weight due to the stress in your life. Now, it can have an indirect impact. So what this person's probably talking about is the cortisol effect. When we're living and operating with high stress, raising a family, going to work, getting the kids to school, taking care of a loved one, something like that, that's high stress. And our body will produce more cortisol to deal with that stress. And cortisol can make losing body fat not as fast and efficient. It can't stop it. I guess I'm on a rant because I talked to somebody this year, jumps out this year, it's been some months ago, but they said, I'm gaining weight because of my stress levels. That's bull malarkey. Cortisol does not cause you to gain weight. It can simply slow down your fat loss, your efficient fat loss, a tiny tad. If you're in a calorie deficit and you're controlling insulin, cortisol cannot stop you from losing body fat very efficiently. Stress can have an indirect correlation, not causation, correlation to one not losing weight or gaining weight, because many people will deal with their stress by doing what? It's not the cortisol causing the problem. They will eat more. So if you're dealing with your stress and anxiety by using food as a comfort, yes, it can stop fat loss and cause you to gain weight, because then biologically you may be in a calorie surplus. Amanda says, yes, that is what I'm referring to. The excess cortisol comes into effect, or does it at all? It does, but so little. Again, the two big things, whether high levels of cortisol in the body or not, the two big things, am I operating in a calorie deficit? If I'm operating in a calorie deficit, I will lose weight, but maybe not efficiently. If I'm in a calorie deficit and I control insulin through food combining or with medication, whichever, then I will lose body fat very efficiently, okay? What about lack of sleep? Lack of sleep indirectly can cause, again, let me go back. I want everybody to write this down today. Everybody needs to write it down. There's two things. There's only two factors that are important. Everything else is ancillary and not that important. I promise you. I've got no reason to lie to you. I don't make no money. I'm not trying to sell you anything when I say this. I'm not trying to make money off the statement. Number one, you must operate in a calorie deficit. Number two, if you want to lose body fat efficiently and preserve muscle, we need to do, I'm going to give you three things. Number one, you have to operate in a calorie deficit. Number two, to lose body fat more efficiently, you need to control insulin through proper food combining and or medication. Number three, you must get in adequate amounts of protein to preserve muscle so that our losses aren't coming predominantly from muscle, okay? So when we get such a lack of sleep that we don't have the energy levels to go and be active, that can be an indirect problem. But like, whether I sleep or not, yeah, if you don't sleep, you'll have more cortisol. That can slow the process down some, but it can't stop it. If we operate, it doesn't matter what other factors are going on. If we operate in a calorie deficit, control insulin, and thirdly, get in adequate amounts of protein, no other lifestyle ailment, lack of sleep, high cortisol, high stress, those are contributors, but they're like peeing in the ocean. Sorry, bad analogy. The macro concerns are calorie deficit, insulin control, and protein requirements. Amanda says, well, sweet. I'm down all of that. I'm down 85.6 pounds, but really trying hard to get to my 100 mark. Now, what you may be seeing is not your high stress life. You may be seeing you're getting so close to goal, because as you get close to goal, your deficit. Let me explain it my way. I was 300. I wanted to be 200. So when I started eating the way I eat, I had a huge deficit. A huge calorie deficit. So I'm losing weight fast. And then as I get close, here's the ideal weight. So my weight's coming down, 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 but the deficit is getting smaller, isn't it? So now that's why you're not losing as much. It's probably not in relationship to cortisol, but you've lost so much weight at 85 pounds. Oh, you're another 85, but still you're coming down. So your deficit's coming down too. Your calorie deficit's coming down too. So at some point when you feel better, it may be time to pick up the activity, which will also help with that cortisol. The more if we don't over-exercise, that helps with our cortisol. If we over-exercise, that can hurt that too. But good job on the 85. That's awesome. Any last questions today? Did y'all get anything out of the class? Did it help you keep moving forward? Thank you, Joni. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget Top Gun 2 tonight. Some great partner stuff coming up. I hope y'all really enjoy Saturday's class that we're going to do for our partners. Lots of good stuff coming up. We're working hard. Nobody's working hard to help people lose weight.